If your gas furnace stops working in the middle of winter, your home's temperature can become uncomfortable or even dangerous. Maintenance and repair costs can be expensive and time consuming, but there are a few things you can do yourself to avoid an outage, keep your furnace running all season long, and hopefully extend the overall life of your furnace. I'm Josh, this is How to Fix It Workshop. Let's get started. Before we do anything, we're going to turn off the switch to the outside of the furnace. There's usually a switch somewhere either on the front or on the side or nearby the furnace. We're also going to turn off the gas. And just to be super safe, we're going to turn off the breaker to the furnace. Before I go into the furnace itself, I'm going to start with an easy one, which is to replace the furnace or HVAC filter. This is one that I think is pretty basic and every homeowner should know about, hopefully renters too, but a lot of people overlook this. Usually alongside of the furnace or right on the inside of it, there is a door or a latch that is going to open to expose the old filter or where the filter is. In my case, there's this little door that I just pulled off, obviously labeled filter. It's conveniently has my size on there and it shows the airflow direction. If none of this information is available, you can easily take a Sharpie and write that alongside on your furnace somewhere. The airflow is always going to be pointing into the unit itself. So this side here is pulling in air from the rest of the house, and then it goes in to go through your furnace, or in my case also the AC. I always put the date on mine. This one was from the end of October. We're currently in January here. It doesn't look too bad, but it's been in there for nearly 3 months. And I'm just going to put today's date on the new filter, paying attention to which way the arrow is pointing. And then it's recommended to replace these filters at least once every season or more often. So in this case, I'm replacing it after about 3 months, which is fine. And I don't have any pets and there's only a few of us that live in the home, so there's not too much dust, but they may need to be changed more frequently than that. A good way to keep track of how often to change your filter is to use some kind of an app like Todoist and put a reminder in there for you to change it every 3 months, or you could just put it in your calendar and just set a reminder, set it to recurring for every 3 months. The next thing I'm going to do is just give the outside light cleaning. So I have a duster here and I'm just going to brush around. There's a lot of cobwebs and dust and things that land on top of the furnace, and there's all these holes that are sucking in the clean air. So I'm just going to dust off all of this before I open these panels. Opening these panels can be a little bit intimidating, but there is no worries as long as your electric is off. Most of them are just going to have a couple of these screws that are just holding the panel in place. We can see inside the top here, and then we want to remove the bottom panel as well, which is where the blower is housed. But in order to do that, we do have a couple of these 1/4-inch screws, which is in most cases for a furnace or AC, those are the size screws that are being used. And once I have those panels removed, I'm going to use my shop vac and a duster to just clean everything really good. I'm not going to get super close and knock things around, but I'm just going to make sure that I clean up any of the dust and debris that has fallen in here over the year and get rid of all the cobwebs and things like that that can be eventually sucked into the combustion chamber, which is where flames are burning. Very DIY friendly, but also very important. We're going to clean the flame sensor. Usually it's going to have this red fitting that is going to be going on top of it. A lot of the other ones are going to have white. So the flame sensor is detecting whether or not there's a flame inside of your combustion chamber here, and it's going to send a signal back to your control panel to say, yes, the flame is flowing, so we're going to make sure that it continues. If it does not detect the flame, then it will shut everything down. Again, another 1/4-inch socket here is shaped like an L here. A lot of times they'll be just going in straight in from the bottom or straight in from the front, and they won't have this bend. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at the flame sensor. It does look like it has a little bit of buildup here. So if it gets too much buildup on there, it will say that it cannot detect that flame and it will shut your furnace off. And I've actually had this happen to me a couple of different times on rental properties where they haven't been cleaned over the years, and I've had a situation where the furnace kicks on and then immediately kicks back off. So I'm going to take a really fine brush and just kind of clean that off. Okay, and that just goes back in the same way that it came out. And we're going to plug it back in. I have the bottom panel back on, and now I'm going to turn on the gas and turn on this switch, and my thermostat should be calling for heat, so this should kick on immediately. And what we're going to do is just watch the inside of the furnace here and see how things are operating. Give it just a minute to start up. There's the inducer motor running for this fan to pull out any airflow and make sure that the surrounding area is clean. So it's going to be sending it up through the exhaust here, and then we should hear it call for gas and start to ignite. So we have the igniter glowing red inside there, and now it has gas. So I'm just looking across all those ports just to see if I see anything that might be out of the ordinary. Looks like all of them are nice and blue. There's no discoloration. There's nothing that's orange. It looks like we have a nice flow there. This service should by no means override a professional taking a look at your furnace. They're going to have specialized tools and things. They're going to look at how things are burning and make sure everything is safe. But these kind of things can help prevent any kind of outage. Just keeping the unit clean, just as you would any other appliance in your home, is a good practice to have as a homeowner. And in most cases, your furnace and your AC are going to be in an area that's not going to be cleaned all that often, like a basement or an attic or an unfinished area of your home. So if you just go through with a shop vac or a vacuum cleaner and just clean up all the dust and debris that might have accumulated around the unit, it's going to prevent that stuff from getting sucked into the unit and causing it to be less efficient. And then you can just wipe the unit down with a rag and make sure everything is clean, and hopefully this will extend the life of your furnace. Hope these tips were helpful. Thanks for watching.